At this point, the Democrats should just start an OnlyFans page for all the rhinos in the Republican Party kissing their...
Oh, what are they paying these guys? It looks like somebody's being paid, Jack.
Appears to have just struck a deal on new gun laws. The text of the bill is now out, just introduced in the Senate. It's called the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act. Here's what it delivers. Incentives for states to adopt red flag laws, increased penalties for gun traffickers, enhanced background checks for people under 21, and it closes the so-called boyfriend loophole. Both Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and the Minority Leader Mitch McConnell say they will be backing the bill.
I want you to keep in mind that the Uvalde school shooting happened a month ago, and already they have an 80-page bill. Then on top of that, the Senate voted to proceed to the bill just more than an hour after negotiators unveiled its text, giving lawmakers little time to digest its details. Look, I'm admittedly a slow reader, but only an hour to read and fully understand what's in a bill that's 80 pages long is ridiculous. These bills aren't written like romance novels. They're written like the hieroglyphics on the wall of an Egyptian tomb. There are parts of this bill that I don't have a problem with. The mental health portion of the bill, I don't have a problem with. Making a specific law that makes straw purchases more illegal than they already are, redundant as hell, but I don't have a problem with.
Now, I do have to let you guys know that I'm just now learning when it comes to gun laws and gun restrictions and gun control and all this other stuff. As a matter of fact, a great deal of the people that he might name, the 14 Senate Republicans who agreed to this gun control, these new laws or this bill, I'm not going to know who most of them are. But that's the whole point of us being here, because I'm really trying to learn this right here. Now, clearly, this is messed up. Apparently, it's happening. What happened in Canada, what happened in many other countries, according to what I've learned so far, is not a good thing. So, I don't know, man. Buckle up and get ready, because things are about to turn up.
Including juvenile records and the background check of anyone younger than 21, I don't have a problem with. Well, as long as the only difference precluding an 18 to 20-year-old from being able to purchase an AR-15 would already preclude them if they were 21 and above, i.e. a felony, and not simply because they were an emo when they were freshmen in high school and people thought that they were weird. However, the part of the bill that I have a problem...
He said people thought they was weird because they were emo. And that's not funny. We're talking about mass shooters here, but when I used to check out emo on the channel, that was a huge thing inside the Discord, and you know, I haven't done that in a while. Maybe I should check out some emo. I don't know. Okay.
In high school, and people thought that they were weird. However, the part of the bill that I have a problem with that should not be a part of this bill is the red flag law portion and the so-called closing of the boyfriend loophole portion. Let's start with the red flag law portion. In 2020, I did a video titled The Truth About Red Flag Laws, where I explained how and why red flag laws are unconstitutional. Red flag laws, or extreme risk protection orders, as some states call them, are state laws that allow law enforcement, family members, friends, romantic partners, co-workers, or close associates to ask courts to confiscate the guns of someone who a judge believes is a danger to himself or others based on a one-sided story of the people asking the judge. The first problem with red flag laws is due process, or the lack thereof. Too many people think the right to own a gun is a privilege. Driving a car is a privilege. Public education is a privilege. Public housing is a privilege. Owning a gun, however, is a right, which means it can only be taken from you if you're charged and convicted of a crime. Red flag laws not only not charge you with a crime, you're presumed guilty of a crime you haven't been charged with. But because...
Whoa. Hold on, brother. I need for this to wrap around my brain cells so I can fully understand what he's saying here. Sheesh. This is crazy. This is nuts. Wow. So with some suspicion, they can arrest you. Is that what you're saying?
Charge you with a crime, you're presumed guilty of a crime you haven't been charged with. But because someone had a secret meeting with the judge about you, the cops can now come and confiscate your guns immediately. Police randomly showing up at a gun owner's house to confiscate their guns, even though the gun owner hasn't broken a law. I wonder what could go wrong. Let's say no one gets killed in the confiscation process. Now the only way to get your guns back is to have a hearing to prove to the judge that already determined that you were a danger, that you're not a danger. Now ask yourself, Do you think this judge that already thinks you're a danger is going to be more or less inclined to change his mind?
That is wow, man. That's crazy. That's crazy. Now, listen to me. Listen to me. If they got all of the information in the world that you are about to dip your toe in the water of crazy and do something with your guns, then you know what I mean? Go get their ass. I know a lot of y'all like, man, no. They can, even if we dipping our toe in the water, they still can't come get me. Nah, it's if they got far more than enough evidence, but not enough to convict you or anything like that. How does that affect people? I'll ask you all. How does that affect people who do have all of the evidence in the world, and it looks like they're about to do something wild because maybe they pulled some messages from watching them, some text messages, and they was talking to people, or they wrote something crazy online saying what they were about to do, and then they went to that person, boom, before it was done. Is there a different from that scenario and what Colion Noir is talking about right now?
Or will he, out of abundance of caution, affirm his initial decision? Now you have to hire an attorney, and as a lawyer, let me be the first to tell you, we ain't cheap, and you still might lose.
Wow.
Oh, and you thought the cops were gonna be nice and hold your guns for you for free while all of this is going on? Oh, no. You either have to pay the local government to hold your guns, give them to a friend, or pay a local gun dealer. God forbid you have more than a few guns. You'll be paying some people's mortgage just to store your guns.
Wow.
At this point, you not only unconstitutionally had your guns confiscated, they're making you pay for it. And another thing, if you live with...
How in the world you gonna charge me like a Airbnb when you got my daggone weapons? You came and got my stuff. I didn't order. Look, I didn't tell you to come get them. We didn't work out no deal. You didn't tell me what the price would be for them for you to hold them for me while I went on vacation. No, nah. Okay, this is huge. This is huge.
With someone that also has a gun, they might take their gun too. I mean, if the whole point of this law is to prevent this person from gaining access to a firearm, it only makes sense to take all the guns in the house, right? Now you have two people with their rights violated because of a secret meeting with a judge by a person who risks little to nothing as far as consequence if they're lying. But who are we kidding? No one ever lies about someone being abusive and a danger purely out of spite. We live during a time where people call you evil simply for having a different political opinion. Hell, many anti-gunners think simply owning an AR-15 makes you a potential mass murderer. And a lot of these people are the same judges who would be deciding these red flag law cases. The potential for abuse of red flag laws is simply staggering. And considering the lengths I've seen anti-gunners go to silence and disarm gun owners, giving them red flag laws is like giving a child dynamite. It's only a matter of time before something goes wrong. The anti-gun lobby, along with Joe Biden...
This brother knows his sugar honey iced tea, man. He really does. And for that, I just want to say thank you, man. You're dropping off some jewels to a great majority of the people, but specifically me. The information you're giving me is valuable, and I appreciate it.
It's only a matter of time before something goes wrong. The anti-gun lobby, along with Joe Biden, want a national red flag law. Because they can't get one passed, they are now trying to pass a national red flag law through the back door. This bill wants to use your tax dollars to bribe states to implement red flag laws to the tune of $750 million using a national standard. Essentially, this bill says, hey states, if you pass our unconstitutional red flag law, we'll give you money. Think about that for a second. The government is using your money to bribe your state to pass an unconstitutional law that can take your guns away from you, even if you haven't broken any laws.
So we're always paying for the BS. We're already paying for it, whether you're with it or not. Whether you vote for it or not, they can care less. You're still paying taxes. You can't vote for what we're about to do. It's going to happen. It's if this daggone state agrees to it, absolutely it's getting done, because they probably need the funding for their schools. They probably need the funding for security in their cities and their states. They probably need the funding for the police force, and they probably backhandedly accept certain deals in order to make themselves look better, so that they can, when they run again, they look good, and they are more than likely to win, regardless of how they sold out or not. Wow, this is nuts, man.
And you have to use your own money to prove that you're not going to break any laws, while you have to pay the government to hold on to the guns they took from you. Yeah, that is unbelievably flagrant. Now, let's talk about this so-called boyfriend loophole. Right now, if you are convicted of misdemeanor domestic violence against your wife, husband, baby mama, baby daddy, or live with your significant other, you will lose your right to own a gun. What this bill wants to do is update the definition of misdemeanor crime of domestic violence to include individuals who have or have had a current or recent continuing serious relationship of a romantic or intimate nature with their victim. This is...
What? Hold on. Let's read that one more time, please, because I need to read that over. Okay. Updates the definition of misdemeanor crime of domestic violence. So to include individuals who have or have had a current or recent continuing serious relationship of a romantic or intimate nature with their victim. Current law applies only to spouses, persons with a child in common, persons cohabitating as spouses, and persons similarly situated to spouses. I need to go to school for this.
Relationship of a romantic or intimate nature with their victim. This is nothing more than a way to lower the standard to take away your right to own a firearm. A spouse or someone you have a child with is a different level of commitment than dating someone for a period of time. As a result, you are less likely to falsely accuse someone of domestic violence if you're married to them or they are the mother or father of your child, because there are real-world consequences of your actions, i.e., your spouse or the person you share a child with will go to jail, lose their rights. However, when you're just dating, there are no consequences. Your girlfriend or boyfriend can simply accuse you of domestic violence, and it literally will have no effect on their life, while you are left having to prove your innocence so you don't have your rights taken. Oh, but wait, you probably already will have your rights taken away, because the same false accusation of abuse can be used to file a red flag lawsuit. All they would have to do is go to a judge and say you abused them and made terroristic threats against them. What do you think the judge is going to do? He's not going to risk being wrong. He's going to err on the side of caution and grant the red flag law. If he's wrong,
guilty until proven innocent. Wow.
Wrong. Wow. He's going to err on the side of caution and grant the red flag law. If he's wrong and you prove your innocence, the worst that will happen to the judge is that you paid a ton of money to prove your innocence and a ton of money to get your guns back from the government. However, if he's wrong and doesn't red flag you and you happen to do something, he has to explain why he didn't red flag you. And that's assuming he's trying to be remotely objective. God forbid he's anti-gun. He'll literally be salivating to red flag you. This is not a loophole.
And they know that a lot of people aren't going to have the funds to be able to go against this. So essentially, when they take your guns, they're confiscating them, because you're not going to be able to get them back. You're not going to be able to get cleared to get them back. Wow, this is so nah, man, it's not cool. I don't like this. It's so backhanded, man. It's sneaky. It's sneaky AF. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
It's common sense. Being married to someone and dating are not the same. Not even close. This is why this part of the bill is trash and nothing more than another piece in a scheme to make it as easy as possible to have your right to bear arms taken away from you. Keep in mind, we're not even talking about a felony domestic abuse here. We're talking about a misdemeanor. They got their way in the 90s when they said you can have your right taken away for misdemeanor domestic abuse if you're married. Now they want it to apply to people who are dating. Next, they'll want it to apply to your coworkers. After that, they'll want it to apply to any person on the street. The Republicans who voted for this, or who do vote for this, are an embarrassment. You're like little puppy dogs running behind the Democrats, tail wagging, asking, what can we do to make you happy? At what point are you all going to stop and ask, what have the Democrats ever given us on guns? Have they ever made it easier for people to defend themselves? Have they ever come to us and say, hey, how can we help you protect the Second Amendment? No, they never do. You all are the ones always running after the Democrats like a bunch of fans. At this point, the Democrats should just start an OnlyFans page for all the rhinos in the Republican Party kissing their ass.
He's going off, man. He's going off. I hope y'all picking up what he's putting down, because this dude is dropping science.
Democrats should just start an OnlyFans page for all the rhinos in the Republican Party kissing their ass. You goofy Republicans who signed this bill are patting yourselves on the back, but you conceded to a bunch of bullies who will never be happy with any amount of placating that you do. They don't even hide it. They say it out loud. In the description section of this video, I'm going to leave all the names of the Republicans who signed on to vote for this trash bill. Make sure you reach out to them and let them know how you feel about them placating to a party who literally wants to destroy the Second Amendment.
I've heard the name Mitch McConnell many times. Lindsey Graham, obviously Mitt Romney. I think that's it. Oh, Susan Collins, I've heard of her.
You know, we talk a lot about empowerment in this country, except for when it comes to the Second Amendment.
Make sure y'all like and share this joint.
And don't forget to subscribe and leave.
And don't forget to subscribe to him either. He has extreme value on his channel. Thank you so much, sir. Per usual, man, I want to hear what you all have to say about this in the comments below. And if you have yet to hit that subscribe button, please make sure you do so on your way out the door. Once again, guys, I'm Van, and now we are all the LFR family, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video, hopefully inside the Patreon as well. You all have been amazing per usual, man. Thank you so much for clicking play and sharing the videos and liking and all that other stuff. Love y'all, man.